All right, let's talk about the Eastern Conference real quick. Game starts and games. I think it's Philadelphia and Brooklyn that starts in less than an hour. So let's get down to business. All right. I just made the Western Conference video. That thing is uploaded right now as we speak. Let's talk about the Eastern Conference. So let's start off. Same way I did the West. The number 8 seed, the Miami Heat, and the number 1 seeded Milwaukee Bucks. Now, technically, Miami was the 7th seed in terms of record-wise, but they lost to Atlanta at home on Tuesday. Then they beat the Bulls at home on Friday. That was a really good game on Friday. Against the Bulls. I'm not gonna lie, I thought the Bulls were gonna win that game, but Miami brought it home. Jimmy and Max Strus played really well, so they brought it home, and they're gonna play the Milwaukee Bucks. This is the third time, and I believe I did this like the third time in like 4 years. These two will match up. They met up at 2020, and I believe in the East Finals, Miami won. Then they met up the next year, in the 2021 Finals, and the Bucks swept them. I believe in the bubble, Miami won 4-2. Milwaukee then came back and then swept Miami 4-0, and then last year Miami got to the conference finals but did not play Milwaukee because Boston had beat them in 7 games second round. So if had Milwaukee won that series, this would have been 4 straight years they would have played, pending if everything still happened the way it does this year. So three out of 4 times they will meet again. So how this series will play off, how this series will match off, I think Milwaukee is going to they're going to beat Miami again. It might not be a sweep like it was last, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect a sweep in 2021. But honestly, I kind of thought that Miami could have won that series, but I was proven so wrong. But Milwaukee is just they are the best team in the NBA right now. I've said since the beginning of the season, I said Milwaukee is the best team in the league. Even though like early on Boston was, I think most of the season Boston was ahead. By the time All-Star break, I believe Milwaukee had took that first place, and they just played like the best. And the thing is, they just kept pace with Boston. They just kept pace because Boston's playing really good. They just simply kept pace with Boston. Then they flipped it on, and then they just got the first seed. So I believe they won with 58 games, which is the most in the association. So I have no reason to pick against Milwaukee. They're the best team. They're the most complete team. Even though, Chris Middleton, he's had a down year, you would say, compared to last year. Drew Holiday had an All-Star season, and that's why he made the team. Giannis is in contention for another MVP again. This will be his second if he wins, but I don't think he'll win this year. They're just really good. They have a great supporting cast. But Lopez is still solid, and he's in the battle for Defensive Player of the Year as well, I believe. So that's really good. Bobby Portis, I think he's in the contention for 6th Man of the Year. Grayson Allen, Jay Crowder. They just have a really great supporting cast. I have no reason to pick against the Bucks. I just don't. I think Miami's a solid team, but the Heat, they have just played so inconsistent all year. I thought they were going to be in the top 6. I didn't think they were going to be playing for the play-in, because I was like Jimmy, Bam, Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, Martin. I forget his name. I think it's not Caleb. That's his brother. I think that's on Charlotte. What is his Cody. Max Strus, all the deep. I just thought they had just a really deep and solid team, but they have not played. They just been up and down all year. I was saying okay, when Brooklyn traded Kyrie and KD, I was like, okay, for sure, Miami's gonna get that 6 seed, no question. And then I think they tired them a couple of times, but they could just never pass it. In fact, they played, I believe, towards the end of the season, and the Nets, I think, won by 30. In Miami, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So, and then they lose to Atlanta, but they get that last playoff spot. So, like I said, I got no reason to pick against Milwaukee. I'm going to say the Bucks, and I think Miami will get one. I think we'll get one. Like I said, they've been off a week, so I think game one will be very competitive. But I think like game two probably be a blowout. I could see game three or game four being competitive, but I would say Milwaukee will win one of those two games in Miami by a decent margin, and I would say Miami will get at least one win, whether that's in Miami or Milwaukee. And if they win games 1 or 2, it'd be like a series as a whole. Like it would be like, oh, like do the Bucks got what it takes? Blah blah blah. You know, the series is looking different now. No, the Bucks are really good. So I'm picking the Bucks in 5. Only reason I'm not saying a sweep is because like I said, I just think Miami is really talented. They're too talented to get sweep, but they just been up and down. So that's why I'm saying 5. So moving on, we got the most interesting series, at least in the Eastern Conference, is the Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knicks. There's one problem with the Knicks because I thought the Knicks would win regardless, and that's Julius Randle and his injury. I forget exactly what the injury is, but I don't. Is he? I haven't looked this up, but I don't. Is he playing? I hope he's playing because if he's not playing, this series will not be entertaining. At least as entertaining as we thought it would be. I think you got Barrett, you got Barrett, and you got Brunson, but the Cavs backcourt is even more talented than the Knicks. I'm sorry to Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett and even Emmanuel Quickley, but Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, they are a better duo. So hopefully he plays. The Knicks have played really good all year. Like I said, Brunson, Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, Emmanuel Quickley, who has been playing great off the bench. Evan Fournier. I'm trying to remember all the names on the Knicks, but they've been playing great all year. But the Cavs have played great too. Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. They are both also in the ballot for Defensive Player of the Year. So there's a good chance Defensive Player of the Year is going over to Cleveland. That's really good. Isaac Okoro, Karis LeVert. I was gonna say Kevin Love, but he's on the Heat now. They got a solid team, but of course the question remains, the question I have all year: will they have enough for the big boys? Milwaukee, Boston, Philadelphia. I think they'll win. They'll beat the Knicks. I think they'll beat the Knicks I think the Knicks will put up a very good fight. I think they'll beat the Knicks in 6 games. I think there would be that one game where the Cavs would just say, you'll think like it's gonna be back and forth. Like it'll be like, one team hands here, then the next team wins, and it'll be back and forth. I think it'll be that one game the Cavs will catch the Knicks slipping, probably like a game 5. Probably like a game 6 where you're expecting the Knicks to win at home and then the Cavs come in and win, or the Cavs win like games 3 and 4. At home, so and they go up 3-1. So similar to like I said in the Golden State Sacramento part. So I'm going to say Cavs in 6. If Julius Randle is playing, I'll say Cavs in 6. If he's not playing, I don't want to be rude for and say Cavs. I don't want to say it'll be a Cavs sweep because they're still really talented. But if he's not playing, I'm gonna say Cavs in 5. But assuming he's playing, Julius Randle, assuming the Knicks are healthy, Cavs, I'm still going to say Cavs in 6. I just think they are better. They've been one of the best defensive teams all year, so they're going to lay that defensive blanket down on that team all series long. So I can't wait to watch that series. That series is going to be really pretty entertaining. So, Cavs in 6. So moving on, we're going to have the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers in our 6-3 matchup. Here's my thing about this matchup. The Sixers are going to win, but the Sixers, like, I can't, I want to say sweep. I really do. Like, there's no reason why Brooklyn shouldn't win a single game versus the Sixers, but I just don't know. Like, I feel like it would be that one game that they'll just unexpectedly, that's the weird words. It would be that one game they're just going to randomly just lose. it'll probably be at home of all things. Like I don't know. I don't know because remember last year they were 3-0 on the Raptors, lost game 5, guess game 4 home. Okay, fair. Then you lose game 5 at home, so it's like and then I think after that game 6 I think was like really close too. So and then I think the year before that, that was 2019. They let the Nets beat them in game 1, and then game 2 was like super like intense and competitive. And so the Sixers just have a knack for letting teams win 1 or 2 more games than they should have. And I think, and they've been playing good this year. And I think Joel Embiid will win MVP this year. But it's gonna be it's gonna be 1 or 2 games that they gonna slip, and I think it's gonna happen. So for that reason, I'm going to say the Sixers, but I'm going to say in 5. And I'm gonna be honest, I won't be surprised if this goes 6. If it goes 6, you should be disappointed, Philadelphia fans. Honestly, you should be disappointed if it goes 5 games. But I just think it's gonna be that one. It's gonna be that one game where the Sixers just slip up and they're gonna lose. So. Because this Brooklyn team, they're feisty, they're competitive. After that trade, teams were writing them off. Teams was like, yeah, they're gonna be bad, they're gonna suck, they're gonna fall at the top 6, and they had that 10. They basically had that 10 game advantage, that head start. So they've been able to keep that advantage. I think they won 46 games. So I think they only lost about maybe 3 more games than they had losses. So they were around 500 after the trade. So Mikal Bridges looked really good. Cam Johnson continues to play well. Dinwiddie. So they just got a really solid group of guys, and it sucks because my guy Cam Thomas hasn't really played a whole lot, and he had another 30-point game or something like that. I think one of the last couple final games of the year. So hopefully he gets some playing time, and maybe he goes to another team that will use him, because I think the Nets see Bridges as that guy. So, but anyway, like I said, Sixers in 5. I just feel that way. Like I said, just because one game is going to slip from them. I don't think they're going to sweep them. If they do, great. You're supposed to do that. But I can't see it happening. I can't. So I'm gonna say in 5, but really won't be surprised if it goes 6. I'll be disappointed if it goes 6. So, but Philadelphia, take care of business and move on, please. So then our last matchup is the Boston Celtics and the Atlanta Hawks. Similar to the Nuggets, the Celtics had a bit of a drop off. It wasn't as significant as the Nuggets drop off. It was just like in March. The Celtics just didn't look like themselves. Like they had a rough March. Just kind of just losing games they shouldn't lose to, losing games to teams they just shouldn't lose to, and but at the end of the season but towards the end of the season they looked all right. They looked like back to that great defense, great offense, great 3-point shooting team that we've seen all year and towards the end of last season. So and they're playing the Hawks, and the Hawks have probably been, in terms of disappointments, I mean, they're here in the playoffs, but this was a team that I probably had picked to be in the top 7. I knew there was going to be one team that was going to be in the play-in, because outside of the Bucks, Sixers, Bucks, Sixers, and Celtics, I had like Miami, I had Chicago, and I had Atlanta. Atlanta and Cleveland. I had those as my top 7. And I mean, technically, I am right on most of that, because Milwaukee's here, Boston's here, Philly's here, Cleveland's here, Miami's here. Is that it? Yeah, no, I didn't pick. Oh, Brooklyn too. Brooklyn, because they had KD and Kyrie too. So I forgot about them. That's at the beginning of the season. But anyway, I'm going to pick. Well, I'm picking Boston. Boston's the better team. But see, Trae Young is so good, and Murray is too. They have a really good backcourt, And that with that, I'm struggling to see how many games they'll win. Boston, because I think Atlanta's too talented to get swept, but then again, the Hawks could just play really bad, and they could just play how they play all year, just up and down all year. And you can't play up and down versus Boston because Boston's been mostly up this whole year. So if they want to be on that up and down stuff, Boston's gonna sweep them. Boston's gonna sweep them, but I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be 5 games. If it goes 6, I don't think Boston fans should be disappointed only because theoretically Atlanta should be better than a 7 seed. I think they should probably be maybe like a top 5, maybe even top 4 team on paper at least. But don't be surprised if it goes 6. I won't be disappointed either. I won't be disappointed. I think if it goes 7, maybe you'd be disappointed. Maybe obviously if you lose, but. I think it'll be 5. I think it'll be 5 really good games. I think it might be 1 or 2 games Boston will win easily, but I think that Boston will they should have a really tough time beating the Hawks. So, but I think it will be 5 close games. So, with that being said, Boston in 5. So real quick, I'm gonna go over my picks for the East. So, as I said, AC Miami versus 1 seed Milwaukee. I'm going to say the Milwaukee Bucks in 5 games. Then you got the number 5 New York Knicks versus the number 4 Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm going to say the Cavaliers in 6 games, pending Julius Randle does play. Like I said, if he doesn't play, I'm going to say Cavs in 5. Then after that, you got the 6-seeded Brooklyn Nets versus the 3-seeded Philadelphia 76ers. Like I said, I really want to say sweep, but no, it's the Sixers. I am going to say, and I'm going to say Sixers in 5. Maybe even 6. I'm just going to say 5, but I should say 6. Then after that, and then to round it out, lastly, 7-seed Atlanta versus 2nd-seed Boston. I'm going to say Boston in 5. Won't be surprised if it goes 6. Atlanta's too talented to get swept. So those are my picks. So like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, I hope your team goes far in the playoffs. Whether your favorite team's in the East or West, hope they go far. Hope they play well, and let's get these playoffs on because I am excited. Really, for me, I really won't get excited for the East really until the second round starts. Because once like Boston and Philly plays, and then seeing like the Cavs go up against the Bucks, I think that'd be like a good like really underdog matchup. So, so really the excitement for me for the East won't come around to like in the next like 2 weeks or so. So let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. I can't wait. I've been waiting for these playoffs all year. So. Whew, let's do it. Match of day 15. Peace.